Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Aspire to Inspire Arts and Craft. This is Helen, and what I'm going to show you is how I made these 3D stars. I want to make them into a faux metal stars. So I have these white ones, and then I have these colorful, already printed paper that I decided to use for the stars. So I made this one and I was off the camera. So I have to make it again so you can see exactly how I made this. So I have this. I started working on it and it's like, okay, wait a minute, stop, put the camera on and make sure that it's facing down this way and not tilted that way because that's what happened. My camera was tilted. So anyway, so you have this square, right? Mine is 3.5 by 3.5. Okay, they have to equal both sides. Okay, so the first thing I do is you fold it in half. Okay, you line it up and fold it in half and you crease it. Okay, then the next thing you want to do is you want to fold it again in half the other way, and you just get this and you crease it down. Okay, now you have this. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to fold this to here, okay? And then you want to fold this one to here. And now what you have is an X. See, you have an X there. The creasing is an X. So now what you want to do is you want to get this side. You see there's two squares because I folded it in a half and a half and I made 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So we're only concentrating on one side of the fold. So we have two squares. I made an X here. Now I'm going to get this corner and I'm going to bring this corner to the middle of the X right here. Now it's not going to line up with the other line that I made, okay? When I made this into square, it's going to be off by that much, which is probably about 1/4, a little bit over 1/4. But this is what you want done. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to get this and you want to line it up to this side. From the corner, make sure you make that point to the edge of the fold. Okay, so make sure you get that going. Okay, and then you make sure you go over with the crease with the bone folder like that. Okay, so this is what you have now. So far what we have is I brought this corner and I brought it to the corner of the X, to the middle of it, to make my my fold. And then I got this and I made it over here to this side to make this fold. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. It's off a little bit, so I'm just fixing it. Okay, there it is. Okay, so that's what you have. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to get this left side of the other side and fold it to the point on the side of the folding to the right. Okay, so now you have this. Okay, so all I did is I got this and matched it up to the folding here to make this point over here on this side. Okay, now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to fold this back to this side. Okay, and once you fold it back to this side, then this is what you have. Okay, so what I did is I just got this, fold it right here, and then fold it back. Now this is what you should have. Now, staying on the same side, you're going to see this fold right here to the edge of this folding. And that's where we're going to cut, right along that. Okay, so now we don't need this. Okay, all we concentrating is on this one. Okay, so when you open this up, I should be on the camera. I hope I am. What you have is this. Now make sure that these points, you see these points to make the star? Not the innie, but the outie. Make sure that they're all hills. Okay? Because there's going to be two that are not hills, and you got to make them into hills. Like this one was a valley, but now I'm going to make it into a hill. And here's one more. This one is going to be made into a hill. Okay? So this is how it should look. Okay? When you have a triangle, you know that you fold. The folding is correct. Okay? So then when you open it up, you see the star already forming. Okay, once you got all the hills up, because two of them are always going to be a valley because of the folding, so you have to correct that before we move on. Now we're going to turn it around, and then we're going to get the ones that are going inside the star. We're going to fold that, and then we're going to fold to the point of this to the line of that fold. Okay, so this is what you have. Okay, then you open it up, and then you do the next valley, which is this one. Now you're going to make it into a hill so that you could fold this to a point. Okay, then you open it up. Now you're going to get the next valley, make it into a hill, and fold it to the corner like this. Okay, then just crease it up, and then you have one more, no, two more. So here's another valley. You're gonna get that and fold it like this. We're making a point at the end of the fold and creasing it right there on that crease. Okay, and then we have the last one, this one. We're going to get this, and we're going to fold it again to the line and to the point. Well, mine wasn't straight, but you get the gist of it. Now you can see that it formed into a star. You can see the star. Okay, and what we're going to do now is just snip this part right here, this scoring again right here. So remember, these are the hills and these are the valleys, so we're scoring in the valley in the middle of that score right there. And here's the same thing right there, and then the last one. So you see, so now they're all cut. Now what you're going to do is you're going to bring this back to the back, the crease. You're going to bring it to the back and fold. So you're bringing this back to the fold. You see, I told you I didn't do this one right. I didn't cut it, I didn't fold it right. But you get the gist. You want to make sure that you fold yours correctly, and this way you get a nice star. I'm going to still get a nice star, but still, you know, the back doesn't really matter because we're going to do something else with that. Okay, so here we go. So got to make sure that it's 1 and 1. Well, I don't know. I didn't measure this one, but it should be the small ones is 1 and 1/4 square to both sides. Okay, so now this is what you should have. Okay, once you have this, then you turn it around and you just form the star, and there you have it. There's your 3D star. Okay. Now, once you get this, fold it like that. Then the next thing you're going to do, which I did not bring with me, is paper. And what you want to do to the paper is you want to put it on the back and then glue it. And so let me be right back to show you that. Okay, I got a piece of paper here. You don't need that much. So let me just put this to the side here. And then the next thing you want to do is glue the flaps. I didn't do a very good job in folding this, but you do a good job on this, because this way you won't have a problem as far as gluing this on the paper, or your star coming out kind of wonky because it's not folded right. So here you go. So just get the glue and glue the flaps, okay? Once you glue the flaps, then you turn it around and you put it on a piece of paper. So I'm going to put it on this paper. And you see, even though you really don't have to do much, because the flaps connects to the paper right away, and it forms the star just how you want it to look. You let it dry, and when you let it dry, then you can cut it. Okay, so this is how that star looks. So that looks pretty nice. So so what I've done with this one, I've done the same thing, but I painted it silver. And if you want an ornament, this is too small. Let me see, do I have another size that are the same? I think these two are. If you get these two and you put them back to back, you form a whole star from the front to the back. Now, before you glue these two together, you put a string in here, or a ribbon, or whatever you want, just depending on the size of your stars, and then you glue it. You glue the backing, and then you'll have your ornament star. Now, if that's what you want to do with it. Okay, so I'm not doing ornament stars. I'm just making them flat, because what I'm doing is I'm trying to do stars that I've been seeing on the craft. So I decided to make my own faux star. Now, I went into YouTube and found a person who did the 3D star, and I'll put her name on the description. But the thing that I like about it is that my new thing is that I'm putting a backing to this. So that's the only difference, because you see, when I get inspired to make something, I always like to put a twist to my creation, my way. And so that's what I do. So then the next thing you do, now that this is dry, you just get this and you trim it. This is the new paints that I got. It's Pantina. This is the set. You start off with the metallic paint, which I would say it's the rose gold. Then you add the number 2 is the acrylic paint, which is the asphaltum. I believe that's how you pronounce that. And then 3, then you add the Bahama blue. And then number 4 is the texture sand medium, which is the fine, ultra fine grit paste. So that's what came in that kit. And then I also brought my metallic. I brought these out to the metallic that I have already. So to get this one, the paint for the faux metal paint stars, I'm going to show you what I did. It's really simple. I used the black. I used this one. And so all I do is just put a couple of dabs on my glass board. And so I'm just getting this, and I'm just dabbing it here and there. Just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. And then I'll use the silver, the acrylic silver that I have. And let me put some right here. And put that away. Now the one thing I forgot to do was to get the water, so I'll just use this to get rid of the black that's on here. So I'm just getting rid of the black because I'm going to use silver now. Okay, got rid of the black. Hopefully. A little bit more water. There you go. Okay, so it's clear now. So here's my silver, and all I did was just paint it over the black. And you just dab it. I try not to stroke it. I like the grungy look, so that's what I'm going for. But I'm going to make this one all metal so that you can see. Okay, so there's that one. Now they're all going to come out different because I think I could mix the black with the silver here to get this one going. I want to be on the camera so you can see. So I'm actually combining both of them together now to see what I get out of this. Actually, I like this color. So maybe I might mix these two colors together. And you just play. You play with the colors and see what you like. I'm actually going for this one. I like that. So bringing this over, see if I could bring some of that color back. So now I know what I'm going for. So just getting the silver and some of the black. I'm trying to do the equal amount here and put it over here. Yeah, I like this color better. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to work with. I'm going to work with this color. And that's all you're going to do to it. Now these came out really silver. I like the dark silver. More like a grayish color better. But you could make them silver. Or you could make them dark silver. And I like this better. So that's what you do. And you can leave the white. You don't have to cover all of it because what I'm going to do next to this is get my distress. I'm pretty sure this is dry. paint dries really fast. Yeah, it's already dry. And then just go over the edges to distress this, because I want mine to look antique. So that's what I'm working with. And then just go here and give it a touch to the crease. I like that. And here's another one. Let me distress this one. Oh, this is the one that I already did. It's this one, right next to me. So get the distress, go to the edges, distress it out, go to the middle, give it that old looking metal. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put, okay. So I guess I am not done because I forgot that I have to add my, my matte glue to this to make them stiff so that they will not fold in. See? And then if you need to touch it up again, go in here. You can add water to this. Use your paintbrush, pick it up, and go in here, and then dab the part that you want cover. In this case, I'm getting rid of all the white. I don't like that. So just putting all the color to this. And there you go. That gel that I'm going to be using. So since this paintbrush has silver, I don't want to contaminate the color into the matte gel. So I'm just going to put it here, maybe a little bit more, and just grab the matte gel from the glass board so that I could do the glazing on all of these. So just go in here and gel, use the gel, the matte gel, and just put it all over. This will stiffen up the stars. Okay, I'm back. Even though I used the black and the acrylic silver, I decided to add this. This is more like a, I would say like a gunpowder, very rustic gold. It's not that bright gold like this one. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so I don't know what this is called, but I'm calling it, it does have gold and it does have dark black. So it's like a darkish gold and not this gold. So I decided to do that, and this is what I'm coming out with, and I like what I'm seeing. Remember, I'm all about, I like grungy. The silver looked too silver. It was too bright for me. It's like I need to tone this out because I don't usually go with, how do you say it, bright, shiny stuff. I like more of a grungy look. So I decided to go with this, and I really like this color. So these are my faux metal stars. That's what I'm calling this, my faux metal stars. And so all I'm doing is just going over it, making sure that it looks good. This is the one I did with black and silver. So I'm going to leave that alone. It's not going to do nothing with this color because I tried adding it and it didn't do nothing. So it's like, okay, you stay the way you are. I'm not going to force you to be something you don't want to be. So even though I did try, so I'll just leave you alone. So this is my gold. I mean my gold. This is my metal, my faux metal stars, and I really like the way it's coming out. Yeah. So these are the only colors that I use. Black, silver, and then this one at the end. So I did the black and the silver together, like I showed you when I left off. And then at the end, you're seeing me adding this by itself on top of it. And I really like it. It's like you say, it's not really gold. I don't know what color this is, but I think it's more like a gunmetal. I could be wrong. But if you know the color, correct me and tell me. What color do you think that is? Because I don't know. I'm guessing gunmetal. But who knows? I've been calling it gunmetal because that's the only thing that comes across my mind when I am using this color. So, and then it doesn't tell you what it is, so I don't know what it is. I really like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off the board, put a white paper so you can really see the details, and then I'm going to distress it so you can see it. Okay. So this is how it came out, and they're still wet, so I really can't, well, maybe I could distress this one. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you how it's going to look when I distress. Okay, I'm back. This is how my stars look. I decided to go with, instead of the ground espresso, I went with black suit. Okay, so that's what I use to distress my my stars, and this is how they look now, my faux metal stars. I really like the way they came out. As you can see, I had to do a little bit of trimming on the white to get rid of that. So there's the little trimmings that I had to do to the stars. But I like the results. I really love the way it came out. They do look like metal, and they're pretty hard. And they're not going to fall apart because remember, I put the, what do you call that? The matte gel onto this. And so that's why they're pretty hard now. And so it will not distort the star when you put it in your journal or front cover of your journal, whatever, or whatever project you're making. So now I am focusing now on I did the faux metal stars. Now I'm going to focus on making them tarnished. So these are the ones that I had made. I still need to work on these a little bit. I really like the way this one turned out. So I'm going to leave this one alone. But I do need to get these other ones going. I like this one. So this one's going to be left alone. But I need to work on these. But I also made some more stars. These were 1 1/4, 1 inch and 1/4. So this is the size that it comes out. And so I already, as you can see, they're very hard because I put the matte gel over it. And I also put it underneath it. Before you seal this, make sure you put it in the inside, and that makes it more stronger. So that's what I did. I put it on the inside and on the outside. So do the inside first, let it dry, and then work on the outside, and then let that dry, and then you could glue it on to this piece of paper. I decided to make it this way than to cut them like I did last time to these faux metal stars. And so, so instead of doing them separately, I decided to keep them on the page because I think that will make it easy for me when it comes to the painting. Now, I want to do the rustic looking type metal. So for this, I might have to use the silver again. Oops, the silver, maybe a little bit of black. I'm not too sure. I can't remember what I used for these, but we'll play with this and we'll figure it out. So I'm on here to show you. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use black. Okay, I need to get something, move this white page out of here, paper, because I need to use the glass board or mat, whatever you want to call it. Got to use this so I could use the paint. So here you go. So I'm going to leave this here so that I could more or less refer to these as I'm working on these. So I'm going to use the black. And I'm just going to put some black here. Okay. I did a pretty size photo because I'm working with these with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 11, with 11 stars. And so the next one I want to pull out is the silver. So there's the silver. Okay, so I'm going to work with this first as the background to my stars, and then I will be working with the patina. Okay, so let's get this going. Here it is. So it's very tiny, but it tells you which ones to use first. And so it goes with using the rose gold first, and then using the brown color, whatever that is. I can't pronounce it, so that's why I just say brown. And then these two are supposed to be mixed together. 1 part into 3 parts of this, or 4 parts of this. Yeah, so you have more of the blue and a little bit of this to mix it together. So I do equal parts. I do equal parts to this, or sometimes I go a little bit lighter than that and more of the blue. And that's just my preference. I really don't follow instructions because I make it my own when it comes to playing with paint. So I'm just going to shake these. I didn't shake them because I just got them out. And they need to be shaken pretty good before I use them. This doesn't shake because it's like a texture sand medium. And so I don't need to shake that. So let's go with the, like the instruction said. Do silver. That's right. I was going to put a little bit of silver. Let me get my paintbrush that fell out. So this is how they came out. I really love the results, and you can hear how solid, how strong they are. If they wasn't strong, you wouldn't hear this. You'll hear this. You see the difference compared to this? See, it's like a soft thump, where this is crispier. So that's what I'm saying, is they came out really beautiful. And all I did to the back was just use the distress and just coated it back there. Not all of it, just here and there. But look at this. So I'm really happy how these came out. And so I forgot to paint this one. So I need distress that one, because all these other ones are distressed except that one. I forgot one. Okay, so I got to do that one. So all I did was just use my distress. Go in here. And that's all I did to it, just to get rid of some of that white. And then just went in here and did this to it. Right here, there, and here. So that's how I did it. So you see, so now, oops, not here, over there. So now that's done. So I'll be back to show you the results. I'm letting these dry. I let them dry for about 2 hours, even though it dries really fast. But I really want them to 2 hours. So it seems to always be the number for dryness. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to wait. You see, this needs to be glued. The water to this already hit it, and so now the glue is coming apart on that. But I'm going to wait. Where's that one that I saved in here? Here it is. So you see, so this is what I want them to look like. So I don't know if that's what's going to happen. So I'll be back to show you the results on all of them. Okay, well, let me go get myself cleaned up, and then I'll be back to show you the results of how these came out when I do this. I don't think you want to see me distress every one of them. The good thing about this is that I have this on a piece of paper, so I could just go back here and distress this instead of doing them individually, which is a hassle and you get all dirty. Where this, all you have to do is just distress all of this. Then once you finish with that, distress all of this, especially on the edge, of course. And then once that's taken care of, and you let this dry a little bit, because, you know, soot, it's an ink, so you got to let it dry again. So that's why I say about 2 hours for the whole thing. And so then I'll cut them off and give it another little distress and let them dry for a little bit, and then they should be done like these are. I am so impressed with how they came out. But this is my faux metal stars. So I'm going to get this going, which is my rustic faux stars, metal stars. So I'll be back when all of this is done to show you, just like I show you this one. Okay, I'm back. One thing I forgot to mention, I've already distressed this. It's already ready to go. But one thing I forgot to mention that I need to coat it with matte gel, because that's what I did to these. That's why they're so hard. And so I got to do the same thing to these. These are a little bit hard, but they still need to be a little bit more firm. And the only way to do that is to use the matte gel to seal it. It's just like decoupage. This is it. This is how they look. I am really impressed with this. Let me show you a few of them. This is the rustic stars that I made. I think they came out awesome. They are rustic. So that's what I was aiming for. I was aiming for rustic stars, and that's what I got. See? Let me just stand still for a minute because I got the habit of moving around. Okay, and then the back, like I said, I was just going to distress it. So that's what I did. So I'm going to be working on getting the matte gel covered on the rest of these stars. Rustic. So, so let me just finish coating these up and let them dry again. And that's it, because these were coated. And now I'm doing the rustic ones right now. I will be posting some pictures at the end, like I always do, with a little music, so that this way you can see how they look as I take pictures of them. Okay? All right. Bye-bye.